Alright guys, so there's going to be a couple things I have to mention before this video starts. It's going to be a podcast kind of thing between Reversal and I talking about Pokemon Go. But we recorded this like over 24 hours ago, like before anything was announced about the Valentine's update. Just want to mention that. So you hear us kind of like referencing some things, maybe like, oh, there hasn't been an update for so long and maybe there never will be or whatever. I think I say that in this podcast, but kind of take that away now. There has been an update. It's good news. But there's still other stuff that we talked about that I still think would be interesting to hear. So that's why I'm still posting this live. Yes, there is an update. We know of that. I've already covered that, and we're gonna be recording some of that stuff today. But I just wanted to give you this like disclaimer before the video starts, just to know that yes, we do know the update's here, but we recorded this the previous day before we knew any of that. So emotions were probably a little bit more depressed yesterday than it was now. But I'll let you watch the video now. What is going on, guys? This is Ben here, joined by Reversal, and today we're going to be doing something that we have never done before, which is talk about Pokemon Go and talk about a few topics. Well, we did another one for Reversal's channel, so that will be in the description below. It's a whole different topic, and it's a quite good one, so check that out and subscribe to his channel. But for the topic for today's video, what we're going to be talking about right now is what killed and what is killing Pokemon Go. So without that, though, Reversal, how you doing?
Hey guys.
Good start
Sorry,
to the video, right?
Yeah, it's kind of strange right now. Yeah, what killed Pokemon Go?
Yeah, so there's a disclaimer though, like it's not fully dead yet. You can still kind of poke at it with a stick and it'll move, but but what we're gonna be talking about is like how it got to the state of like how it is now, and maybe we'll give like our 2 cents on how to. Where we can get our max revive for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, what are the ingredients to max revive Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah. So honestly, where should we even start with this one? Well, okay, you can go.
So we talked about the trip down memory lane about the updates. I think the first struggle point, what happened whenever people got dismotivated with the game, was whenever Pokevision.
Okay, that reminds me. Yes. So actually, yeah. I could say there's because we're gonna talk about kind of like disparate aspects of why maybe the game was killed, or like in their eyes killed for Pokemon Go, or why people stopped playing is a better way to say it. One of them probably was all the server issues right away.
Oh right.
Because like,
oh gosh, it'll be so many more people playing.
Yeah, because like it's kind of how like for Duel, like I tried to play Pokemon Duel, the new game if you guys didn't know, and like there were server issues with that one. And I literally was just like, okay, gave it my chance. Couldn't even play a match for a while, and I did not give it a second chance after that. So I was like, all right, I'm done with this game. I can imagine that's how a lot of people were with Pokemon Go, and so that's probably one step that was really bad.
Now that you're talking about that, it's really strange, but that almost got me to quit the game.
Yeah,
oddly enough,
because like you couldn't.
Like, I remember we were still in the park and we were with friends and we were hanging out. We were like, oh, we're gonna get together, play Pokemon Go, and then server would be going down, server would be going down, server would be going down. And this one day, the server went down 8 times, and then we heard someone yelling in the distance like, oh, I finally got back on, but we were still down, and we were just like, if this is gonna be happening for a couple of days, we're just gonna, quit. And I still remember the day after in the park, there were less people after.
Yeah, no, like plus like people were getting mad because maybe they had lucky eggs, lures, incense, and they didn't do anything to refund those. Like a good example of someone actually refunding when their servers were down is like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Like their servers were down for like I'd say 5 hours, and they gave everyone like 500 gems in-game currency for that downtime for inexperienced issues. So it's like Niantic should have did something to maybe make those players less mad.
That is actually really good of them. I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, that was good. A good part on Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Konami there, but Niantic didn't do that. Another one we were talking about is the 3-step glitch. At that time when they took that out, 3-step tracker, for those who didn't know, it was like footsteps. As you got closer, it would go to 2 steps and 1 step. That was in the game for a short period of time, and then they took that out. And when they took that out, a lot of people were not happy with that, and a lot of people were done right there. And then that leads us to the one you talked about was Pokevision. Like,
going back to the 3-step though, like I feel that was the first step of an ongoing process of Niantic not communicating with their
Oh
players.
yeah,
which-
yeah.
That
was
was
like
really the first step. That
like
was
the
really
start.
first step.
Like oh no.
Yeah.
or how do you like the I get what you're saying.
Like you could damage control so hardcore as a company like Niantic if you were to communicate from that point already.
Yeah, like why
That
you were
would-
doing it, like
Yeah.
the reasons.
That way us as YouTubers can inform you guys like what's going
Yeah.
on. That way news sites can, you know, I would imagine there'd be 300% more people still playing up to this point if Niantic would be to communicate.
Yeah, the thing that was so bad was like they just took it out. No reason, no nothing. And everyone just kind of like
Give us a
stood there.
one-step tracker.
You're like, what happened, really?
Yeah.
But the next one, which hurt a lot, was like the first big tracker. It has 1.1 million followers on Twitter, which was huge. Was Pokevision, and it was like the elite of the elite trackers to ever be announced and released.
Yeah.
You guys know my stance on trackers. Reversal, never. You can state yours if you.
Well, okay, so trackers, I don't personally ever use them until like a little bit later. At first I was really like anti, but then as I was in a group with friends, some of our friends or just people that I knew were using them, and whatever a Snorlax would be close by, you're not gonna not go for it. So yeah, that's my stance on it.
This is a different side topic too. Like you could honestly say like maybe trackers killed the game too. Like
Yes.
like
That could be, I don't know, like that's too much of an if scenario. I feel like I cannot imagine how the community would be now. I would actually imagine that a lot of people wouldn't have their Pokédex completed as a result.
yeah,
right
for
now.
sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And it would be it would
yeah.
be so hard, and then I think a lot of people would maybe get upset and be like, "Oh, screw this."
Because
Like-
imagine if you need Lapras. Imagine if you need Snorlax, Grimer, Muk, wheezing, coughing, Lickitung.
Yeah,
Imagine if you still need those Pokemon. You cannot evolve them. Well, Muk you can, or Coughing you can, but even Grimer is extremely rare, right? As a
Yeah.
regular type.
yeah.
So many people would be stuck on 138, 137, 136-ish.
There is the argument though that maybe like some of those players that are still striving though still have that urge to go and get those. But I think a majority of people will get annoyed at catching like they're going looking for the same like going looking for those Pokemon but getting the same thing over and over and over and over again, like the crappy spawns, you know what I'm saying?
That's why it's going to be bearable when Gen 2 gets released. That way
Yeah.
you're going to be getting a whole new set of common Pokemon. You're not only going to see Pidgeys, but you're also going to see Hoothoot, Sentret, Ladybuzz.
Yeah,
And
that-
those
that's-
are the bearable types.
That's part of the revive.
Yeah,
But
one of three.
yeah, but like once Pokevision went down, I know a lot of people that were at the local parks that used that, because that's how I found out about it. I found out about it like 2 days or a day before it went down. And they were like, yo, this is like the best way to get the stuff. And if this goes down, I don't think I'll ever play again. And then again, it went down. Never saw them ever again. Never heard from them. So I know a lot of people that just stopped the game because they couldn't find anything that they wanted, like in their eyes, was fun to catch.
And to those people, I really want to shake them and be like, just play the game.
Yeah, but no, that's
But you can.
That's just kind of like another maybe nail in the coffin. We'll add another one. And then with that, we have to talk about Niantic as a company, really.
Oh,
They're a big factor.
we have to.
And
We have to, man.
and the
Don't do this to me,
and
man.
the Pokemon company itself, because maybe they're hindering a lot
Yeah.
of things. But
Or Nintendo.
yeah, but number one, it's like Niantic doesn't communicate. We've talked about this a million times. I don't really think we need to go into a whole lot of depth with this one.
No.
Just Niantic as a company itself, you know, is a huge reason that that we're even talking about this. What other reason would you say? Like, why? What are the steps that got us here?
It is all underlined by the big umbrella called not communicating. Like, that's just hands down common fact. If Niantic would be a little bit more open. Just other things. Just I don't understand. I don't know. it's a tough one, man.
It's hard to say one specific thing, but it's just a combination of everything. It's kind of
like it's like a chain reaction. Like it's like an ongoing process. You can see, like, that's the initial Pokemon Go hype. Like, it's a boom. Like, people talk about the game, gets a lot of hype. People are like, oh, this is so exciting. This is really cool. And now it's like, oh, the game is dead. Like, nothing is happening anymore. Like, it's mouth to mouth advertisement at its finest, basically.
Yeah. The one, like, the thing when I was like, oh my god, like, it was actually when there was all this hype around like Gen 2 coming out, and it was when like the December 12th was supposed to be the day, the end all be all big update, and we just got notified of 8 new species that can be hatched, which is technically Gen 2.
The Sprint of the CEO of Sprint is single-handedly responsible for a lot of players quitting Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because once, like, there was a lot of people happy that came out. There was a lot of people...
whenever he said it in the conference, like, in case you guys are not familiarized with what we're talking about here, John Hankey and the CEO of Sprint, they were gonna be coming together to talk about Sprint, Pokemon Go, adding Pokestops, and then in the press conference, the CEO of Sprint specifically mentioned Gen 2, which he should have not done. And that's kind of put the trigger to like people believing that Gen 2 would be coming, which it did, but partially. Like that's
like there were so many people that, like, when they saw that, your initial reaction was like kind of like, really, this is what we get, and it pissed off so many people, and like just gone. They're gone. Who knows if they'll ever be back? But
what do you think Niantic should have done at that time whenever that went down?
Well, they kind of stated like, oh, over the next few, this is just the first wave of over the next few months, but it's still been 2 months and there's been nothing. But at that time, I think what would have been better is maybe, honestly, I don't know. Like, what are you
is that hard?
What do you think? What do you mean, like, do better? What do you think? Like, what do you mean?
I think what they should have done is just release the whole thing, because it was the best possible moment. It was the best possible time. I think Niantic is hitting the ball. They're missing so many great opportunities that, I don't know. Like, it feels waste. I feel it's a big opportunity being wasted. Like, for instance, the best chance to release Gen 2 was during Christmas, because a lot of people had time off to actually play the game, and people were playing. Like, that's what's like mind blowing to me. Like, they were playing the game. Look at those events: Thanksgiving, Halloween. People started playing again, and then now with generation number 2, people got excited. You know, egg hatching. I did see an increase of people playing, but not as much as like whenever they're gonna be releasing a new generation. So I think, like, another thing that makes people quit Pokemon Go is that Niantic is not, you know, adapting to scenarios, which they should do.
Well, there's always this thing, like, people are saying, oh, they're not going to release anything until winter's over. But honestly, there would still be people that would go out and play your game.
I honestly thought that winter was going to have Gen 2, and then Gen 3 would be summer, and every half a year we'd get a new generation.
Which would make sense, and then that would have to be a long lifespan of a game.
Yeah.
If, like, there's so many generations now, I don't know, like, there's other things.
You can do this 3.5 years.
Yeah.
At least.
But one big thing I think that has really hindered the game is, we talked about this a little in your end of your video, is like there's nothing new aspect to the game, really. Like, they had the 2 new features only ever added, which was, well, you could say 3, but we'll stick to the appraisal system and buddy system. That's all that's ever been added. And what's been hindered is there's no, like, different thing to do in the game for, like, player versus player battles, which is kind of like you can battle other people. And if we go back to a different game, like, we'll talk about Boom Beach. That's a game that both of us used to cover and do collabs on way back in the day. Because Reversal and I go back to, I think I had, 4,000 subscribers. You maybe had 6,000. Was that when we first collabed?
That's about right. Yeah,
around that time, and but This is a side note, by the way. But like, yeah, so a game that we played back then, towards the end was like when we stopped playing. It was like there was nothing new, no new thing to do in the game, and that just killed it for us because it's like not fun.
How long ago did we stop playing? For you, it's a little bit longer than for me.
I think it was like 8 months, 7 months
8 months. Yeah, for me it's like whenever Pokemon Go came out, I made the decision.
Yeah,
And even now, there's nothing new added.
yeah, nothing new added.
Well, you cannot really nothing new added.
Well, there was new stuff added to the game, but it was such a long spell of like nothing added, so it just killed a lot of the player base. And
Yeah.
now they have a little bit of good like new features, but they already killed off a lot of the player base, so they're not going to come back. And that's what scares us about Pokemon Go, is like that could happen. Like they go this long stretch where minimal content, maybe nothing added to the game, and then all those people leave. And yes, they have a huge update when it comes back, but since all like the majority of players already left, there's only going to be not as many people coming back to play to check it out, which sucks. But I don't know. What's like one thing that you, I guess, really enjoyed that they did? I guess we'll
Really enjoyed what they did.
go to a positive side here.
Yeah, no, that is actually really great that you mentioned that. I was not prepared for that. One really great thing that they actually did do is I really enjoyed, especially in the beginning, that every 2 weeks there was a new thing being added. And I don't know where that stopped, but it was actually kind of nice. Even if it was a small thing, something got added. And that really got my hopes up for Niantic. Even though they were lacking in a lot of aspects, that was exciting. Like, I think it was up to the buddy system, where they kind of stopped adding something in every 2 weeks. Where
It was still pretty consistent after that, though.
Yeah.
It was just up until recently,
true.
after Christmas break. It was like nothing.
After that, if you put it that way, that really makes me believe that they're on a really long ass Christmas, sorry man for my language, a really long Christmas break right now still.
Well, even well, you remember too when like Supercell would go on like their summer break where they have like 2 months off.
Yeah.
Remember those, and then be nothing for 2 months. Maybe
Yeah.
it's something like that. I hope.
Maybe if we're here again next year, we can assume that it's like a Christmas break.
Yeah, but they still have rolled out updates though. Just nothing in those updates.
Nothingness.
Nothing.
Updates of nothingness.
Nothing that we can see. But
like, would you still like? Let me put it this way. Would you still be getting excited over data mine stuff right now, even though it adds nothing to the game? Let's say we got 2 updates.
Would I make a video on
massive...
it? Would I make a video on it? Probably. Would I be as excited about it? Not really, because that stuff was added like a month ago now, and hasn't shed light into whatever in the game at all.
Yeah, no, not 2 months. It's actually
just a month.
Actually, not a month. Actually, more like 2 weeks now.
2 weeks? Nah, it's been longer than 2 weeks since like
three weeks.
the moves have got added.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
17th of January.
Okay. Well, in 10 days, that'll be a month. Yeah, well, 9 days. 9 days if you're watching, and
yeah,
that's still we haven't seen any indication that even will be added. There is the hype, or not hype, the rumors around the what's it called, Valentine's Day, like the EV stuff.
I'm not buying it, man. I'm just. It is an no. Actually, I am. It's an event. At this point, how would the community react if there would be no event?
Dude, if there's no event like at all this month, I'm just gonna say this, like, you're like brain dead at that point, Pokemon Go. Like you're on what's it called? Well, one like they're in the hospital and they're on like the life support or whatever. Is that what it's called? Yeah, they're barely ticking. Like, oh my! At that point, if they don't do anything for like the rest of this month, really. But that scares me too, because like there's been no word. Like, what if they don't do anything until like it gets a little warmer out, dude? Like, oh my god. So that's another reason why like we're kind of like.
What are you gonna do on?
I'm already kind of doing it on my channel. It's pretty much getting back into Clash Royale. maybe do other videos here and there of other things.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to dive into like the. Oh, this would be cool too. Like me and Reversal talk about this a little bit. Pokemon Arc, maybe
Oh
playing
yeah,
that a little bit
yeah.
together.
That
Just
would be
keep
a lot
some
of fun.
Pokemon stuff, Pokemon on the channel, and then
Yeah.
as long as there's this tracker around Green Bay. I already mentioned this in a few other videos, but like as long as that's up, I'm still gonna go out and hunt those rare Pokemon because that's still fun for me to get those.
There's still a tracker out?
It's like it's not really I don't. It goes off of Poke Alert, and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
exactly how it's set up, but you can set it up to scan different locations all the
Mm-hmm.
time. So someone set it up in my city, and it literally the feed that the tracker gets sent to like this Discord server for anyone to read, and the
Oh,
location of
oh,
that
the
Pokemon.
coordinates.
Yeah, so you literally go to it.
Oh,
Um,
I've seen tweets passing by of that. I never knew how that worked.
I don't know how it runs either. It was just set up in my city, and there's also in Milwaukee, and I think another city around in Wisconsin. And
But
I
you
know,
see, they don't do that. They don't do that side type of stuff in the Netherlands, at least not that I'm aware of.
yeah. So I know there's probably a lot of other cities that do it. But I just found out that someone's doing it in Green Bay. So it's like, okay, might as well. There's nothing else going on. Get
But
rare
there's
po-
nothing. But there's nothing like a Poke Assistant or Fast Pokemon kind of thing.
No, not there is a iOS app where like it'll literally just kind of like go around your like your vicinity, like your sightings area, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the game and there's a Pokemon on your sightings, it'll be like that radius. So it'll find that for you in your
Oh,
radius, but that's it. It won't scan anywhere else or anything.
okay. Okay. That's
But
interesting. That's helpful.
yeah, but those are the only two, and there's nothing like Fast Pokemon where you could scan across cities
So,
wherever.
would you think you'd enjoy Gen 2 more as a result of that? That there's nothing like that anymore?
Um,
I think it'd be pretty exciting, like, not knowing where the Pokemon are.
I would, but if I didn't like, it's kind of like a maybe this, maybe that. Like, say Gen 2 came out and like it was like I didn't find any new Pokemon that were like rare ones for like a month or two. That's when it'd be like, okay, I wish there was a tracker.
Yeah.
But if you find them here and there regularly, they're still findable. Then I would be like fine with it, and I don't know, I'll be cool with it. But it is what it is.
100 new species.
Oh yeah, we talked about this in your video too, didn't we? The another thing is a lot of people think tracking killed the game. Like being able to track Pokemon. I'm curious to
Yeah.
hear your guys' thoughts. Reversal, what are your thoughts? Do you think trackers as a whole killed Pokemon Go too? Aided in it?
It killed a great majority of people's motivation to play the game. That's without a doubt. Like, there were just people and even in my own friends group, there are I think 2 friends that were just purely dedicated on the tracker, and if the tracker doesn't work, it's no longer fun for them.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I've also witnessed people that they weren't spoofing, but they had their own personal private trackers, and they would go after every single Dratini to the point where the first base was filled with Dragonites above 3k.
Mm-hmm.
That killed the game eventually for them. I mean, it's not fun looking at the page. There's only Dragonites up there. Believe me, I've seen it. It's just not... Like, it's just like you're not seeing anything else. You're not seeing any Vaporeons, any Rhydons, or anything like that. It's no fun.
Yeah.
So there's that. Yeah.
I definitely see the side where maybe it killed the game for some players, where it's like the reason, like if there was never a tracker, I can see it both ways though. Because if there was never a tracker and some people are still playing the game, like because you stated like there may be a lot of people that don't have all the Pokemon, like Muck is kind of rare, Coughings are kind of rare.
Mm-hmm.
All like the Snorlax, Lapras, and all those are really rare Pokemon. And if there was never no trackers, a lot of people would not even have ever found those still, and still to this day. And maybe those players would still be interested to try and find those because there'd still be something to do. But you could also look at it this way too, is like maybe those players would just have gotten bored and given up the chase this long into it because there's been nothing really added to keep their interest of, and they're just getting sick of the monotonous grind of like catching all the crappy Pokemon and once a month finding a rare one or something.
True. I do wanna add something which I think is very important, which I feel that you guys might think that we forget about, and that is people play for different reasons. One player plays to level up, other players play to get the rarest Pokemon, other people just want to complete the Pokédex. There's also players out there who don't care of any of this stuff and they just enjoy going outside. You gotta understand that the videos that we're making is mostly targeted towards like the bigger audience, and we follow or we present the videos in the way that we are playing the game. But don't forget that we're forgetting about you. We do know about like the people that are just walking around for fun, just enjoying the game, who are saying like, stop whining about the fact that Gen 2 is not out yet. They're working on it. But you gotta understand that we have this group of people, like a large group of people that are watching the videos that we're putting out there. We're seeing the instant feedback constantly on our comments. And as a result of that, that's why we're making videos like these, to kind of address those and to kind of bring our perspectives to light there. Just kind of figured I'd say this because I do imagine that you guys are going to go into the comments and flame us for the fact that we're whining about Gen 2 again. But that's not the case. I think it's important to also, like, we understand. We completely understand, and I think it's important to, we do know both sides of the story. It's just like, we've been in this mobile gaming industry for a pretty long time now. How long? 3 years?
3 years probably. A little under, maybe a little over. Somewhere around 3 years sounds about right.
I think we've been relatively successful at attracting masses to our channels, and as a result of that, we kind of sort of understand how majority of the masses do work. So yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this point. We do understand both sides of the circle, and it's apparent like Niantic is working on stuff, but the way they're doing is just clumsy, man. Like, this just... Yeah. It's clumsy. It's real clumsy.
They could just say, like, oh, we hear you guys, like, you want new stuff or something. We're working on it. Maybe it'll be released in, like, next month or a couple weeks. That would honestly make so much play, like... It'd stop a lot of the hate, like, oh... It'd just stop the wonder of, like, oh... Yeah. What's gonna happen?
The reason of the frustrations is the fact we are so left in the dark in regards. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm craving new content every single time. If something new comes out that's getting relatively new, old at the time, I just want to see, like, what is up next? I just want to keep on progressing, you know?
Yeah, so, like, I guess, like, we'll talk about this, to kind of, like, wrap this up here, is, like... Big reason that killed it: one, Niantic, no content, game getting stale, no other things to do. You could say trackers, I guess, because a lot of people, whatever. The weather, maybe. Those are like the reasons, and I guess
I was actually surprised by the amount of people that just went and played during Halloween. Down your Wisconsin area, it's freaking cold. Or like, do you still see people playing?
I see people, not outside. I see people playing their cars. Like, if I go to a park, I'll see people sitting in their car. I never see anyone walking around playing the game.
When was the last time you saw people walking around?
If I go to, like, this park, it's called, you maybe hear reference in my video, Nina. There's some people that walk around maybe there because it's so good, but it's only, like, maybe one or two. And I haven't been there in a long time because when I went there, it was, like, there's, like, a car, maybe two cars there. Just sitting at this 4 lure spot, because you can hit all 4 lures in your car, but there was like no one there, and it's like, oh my god. So it's been like maybe 2 months, 3 months, or actually I'd say the baby Pokemon when they came out, because I saw people walking around then, but and
yeah, you gotta be walking around that.
Yeah, but other than that, like the starter event, I didn't really see anyone. I saw people in Atlanta.
The starter event just didn't do much for me.
Yeah,
I was just like, no, for me personally, I just hit level 40 at the point. It's like, nah.
Yeah, like, but I guess now we can switch to a better side. It's like, what will revive it? Our max
3 things.
I'm gonna say my 3
what
things.
Are the
I'm gonna say my ingredients. You can say yours. So
yes.
Niantic Communications 1, or just Niantic better as a company, and then
they need a community manager, man. Mystic said it in this video perfectly.
Just something, dude. Just talk to us. Like, holy crap. Not these irrelevant tweets. Oh, what did you What's your favorite Pokemon to gym battle? Oh my god. Like,
What is the latest one they cheated, man? I want to see.
I don't even know. You can look it up.
You don't? Okay, dude. I used to get little heart attacks every single time they would tweet out something. They said, oh, it's actually the one you just said. Which Pokemon do you battle the most, and what set of moves do they have?
God. Yeah, like irrelevant tweets. Like, come on, really. But so the Niantic's #1 needs to fix their crap, just communication, letting us know. Number 2 would be like, obviously, new content, but I'm gonna say like a different aspect to the game, like PvP or Gen 2 would be another one, and then revive it. Honestly, now it's at this point, is just like warmer weather. I know like Australia, it's your summer or whatever, but I'm just saying for around us, around our place is like, I think I would see more people outside if there was not freezing out, like there's not snow.
Shoutouts to the Japanese though. Like, gosh,
Why's that?
there's still like over a couple of hundred people every single day in Kinshisho, the 8 lure spot.
Jeez. Well,
so
maybe if we had that too. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, actually,
what is your 3? What is your 3?
Gen 2, that's number 1. PvP, shiny Pokemon is gonna bring me back hardcore. Like, I'd be so dope. Shiny Pokemon for me is like, I'll be a shiny hunter, man. Shiny hunting all the way. I just want all living shiny Pokedex. No, actually I don't, but that'd be really cool. I think for me shinies is a big one. PvP I think is cool for so many people. I didn't, for me personally, I'm not into the whole battling aspect too much. Like, gym battles are cool. I'm more of a collector, grinder type person, so battling doesn't do much for me. Gym battle tweaks doesn't do much for me. I would love to see community quest. Like, you would do stuff with teams, like Team Instinct, Team Mystic, Team Valor. Like, there would be more stuff related to those teams. That'd be amazing if there were events that would involve your team getting together. Like, I don't know, just some quest or something. Just something to do with, like, interaction. Just engagement as a whole is very important, I feel.
Yeah.
And then Niantic needs a CM. Niantic needs a manager, community manager.
Yeah.
They should fire the one they have now and replace it with a new one.
They probably don't have one because their company's so small, man. With all their billions.
They should have pulled a Supercell there. They should expand.
Yeah, Supercell is like the ideal company to look at for mobile gamings, and then like the exact opposite is probably.
But the teams are so small, though.
But they still do still do wonders.
That's what's amazing.
That's why whenever I hear a gaming company say like, "Oh, our team isn't big enough to do all this," it's like I look at Supercell. They have like 7 team developer teams that run an entire game, and then you look at like. Niantic said because their company's too small to do it, and they have like their staff members. Yes, they have 2 games. Yes, they have 2 games. They have
like 80 people.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna swear in my video. I'm calling bullshit. Okay. So
it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's our thoughts. Yes, there's a lot of complaining, I guess, but it's true, man. Like a lot of the stuff we say is like because we care so much about the game. And we want it to be successful.
I do really care a lot about Pokemon Go.
And that's the reason why we complain, like, or because hopefully it'll make a change. In the back of our minds, like, well, not back, in our wildest dreams, Niantic might see this video and be like, "Oh yeah."
Then going on to that fact, right? What is your number one motivation for doing these? Because for me, like, to give you an example, like, the one reason why I want all of this stuff to happen, PvP, Gen 2, and so on and so forth, is that whenever summer hits, I'll be able to go outside, play Pokemon Go with my friends again, have fun, drink beers, like, talk about other types of BS nobody really cares about, just have a good time, be outside, and play some games that I love, and then cover it on YouTube. That is my number one reason why I want all of this to happen, because I'm afraid that that's going to be completely gone. And it will just be a 2016, the summer of 2016 type of thing.
The reason for me is like because I want the game to be there because this year has probably been how long has the game been out? 6 months, 7 months,
July,
7 months.
July,
So,
7
but
months, yeah.
to take away this last month, we'll say like that 6 months was so fun. Like I never have went to any of these parks or whatever, just experienced all that, and I really don't want that to go away. And it was like a complete shift of my channel of how to make videos, and it was so fun learning all that, and like
dude, have you? I'm thinking about this now, but there are so many places I didn't know they existed, and thanks to the Pokestops, I learned about them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't know there was all this crap near me.
this statue of this thing, like this woman that is sitting naked just like this, and just like what?
Yeah, so
that is this thing.
But the thing is, like, I just don't want it to be like a fad. Like, oh, this was for like you could say it already is done and over with, but I still think they could change it around. So that's
I
why
just want to make sure that the comments in my YouTube section are just wrong. Like, Pokemon Go's dead. Do people still play this game? Yes! They still play this game, and Gen 2 is out right now.
There still will. Everyone has their own opinion or their own outlook on what is Pokemon Go dead. Like, people probably thought it was dead the moment they stopped playing it. Like, if you're not playing it, you probably think it's dead.
Yeah.
And then there's always people that still will play, like the hardcore players, and be like, no, it's not dead. But the amount of people that are defending it now are just getting lower and lower and lower as nothing is being changed.
And justified, and rightfully so.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, sorry if this was a little bit depressing of a video. Reversal is actually a lot better, like talking about fun stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah,
and interesting.
We're taking a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, the bright side. So check that out.
Yeah.
This one is once again one of those passionate complainings, I guess we'll call it. But let us
passionate in complaining.
Yeah. Well, check out Reversals. It'll be in the description below and subscribe to his channel. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think of this and what other topics you'd like us to cover. And stay tuned for some collabs with other Pokemon games too, if you'd be interested in that. But any final words, Reversal?
Yeah, if you want us to do this more often, make sure you hit us up in the comments. Make sure to like this video at the same time while you're at it, as you're writing your comments. And also, we want us to do more of these discussion type of things. Would you want us to, if you do want more of this kind of conversations between me and Ben, or maybe even Mystic or Trainer Tips, then make sure you tell us what you want us to talk about as well. I think that really helps for this kind of conversation, and maybe we can do it live. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. But hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys later.